G'day Australia and welcome to Western Australia. Kalgoorlie, g'day! How are we? Rip in, I love it. Gold Country has been awesome to us this weekend and we are having the best time of our lives. We've had an awesome time here. I can tell you our experience in Kalgoorlie has been one that has taken us to all different places, lots of fun tourist stuff to see around the place. The countryside is phenomenal. That bloke is the best tourism guide I've seen in all the years we've done it. He's rock and roll, and we'll get to Al in a moment or two's time. Local legend Kevin Bloody Wilson, my friends. KBW, good on you, rip him in. Kalgoorlie native, he's on the show tonight. Looking forward to this. We'll get to celebrating Kalgoorlie, which is a magnificent part of the world. Honestly, you've got to come and visit. It doesn't matter when, the weather will be fine, the people are fantastic, and there is so much to see. This was the sunset that was here a bit earlier tonight. It is absolutely ripping. Oh, g'day, mate. And anytime you get outside and have the chance to go a little further out, amazing stargazing, just beautiful country. All right, let us talk about politics because you may notice we have an election. By this time next week, we will know who has either been re-elected for the next 3 years or a new broom. Are you looking forward to a re-election or a new broom? Boo earns, they're saying, Albo. Boo earns. All right, well, correct. There are just 6 days until the federal election and an extraordinary number of people have already voted. It is almost 3 million people who have already voted. Early voting again kicks up again tomorrow. There's about 2.4 million people who have already cast their votes. I say go and do it tomorrow. Why? Because no one's going to change your mind. So let's try to change the country with your vote. And remember, what you do with your preferences really matters. 500,000 postal votes have already been returned. There's another 2.5 million outstanding right now. The latest polls, they show that maybe things are bottomed out when it comes to the Liberal Party's slide, but if the polls are right, there will be a re-election of the Albanese government in just a few days' time. The Newspoll, which is dropped in the Australian newspaper, will be front-page news tomorrow, but I can tell you tonight that it is going to be most likely a hung parliament, but not by much. They're closing in on a potential majority of 76 seats. The Labor Party, 52 to the Coalition's 48. Worth noting here, the One Nation vote, and I've talked about this, how many days, how many weeks, how many months, and now how many years. It is now at 8%. Pauline, in fact, was here in Kalgoorlie over the weekend. She was at the Nullarbor muster, which was 4 hours up the road. I can tell you that is one of the reasons why. Maybe the pubs were slightly quieter last night because lots of people were there and having a good time. Well, the Pauline Hanson party is now 8%. Now, they were 5% at the last election, 3 points up, and with her being very clear about preferencing that if you vote One Nation, preference the LNP, that is what could be the game changer and the game saver from the coalition. Not just in terms of whether they keep the seats they have, whether they go backwards, but where they are able to go forwards. Now, that national number is going to be different in Western Australia, where the Upper House has got a One Nation member. In South Australia, where the Upper House has a One Nation member. Victoria, New South Wales, Queensland, all of those factors slightly higher, slightly lower, but you can't help but see the Labor Party is 2 points higher than where they were at the last federal election. The LNP is about where it was at the last election. And here's the bit that if you're a hardcore Team Blue supporter is not going to fill you with much confidence. But, you know, we don't do happy talk. I tell you what's going on so nobody wakes up surprised. Newspoll did a survey of people about whether the government deserves to be re-elected or whether the opposition is ready to govern. Just 39% of people in Australia believe the government deserves to be re-elected, but 62% are unconvinced that the opposition is ready to govern. As for the bookies, the numbers get tighter now, so if you think there is an upset in the offing, bet responsibly. But $6 is what the coalition is paying, in and around $6 on Sportsbet, Ladbrokes and at the TAB. For his part, Peter Dutton seems to have turned a corner and decided, bugger this, I'm going all in. Now, yes, a significant number of people have already voted. More people have not. There is apparently about 20% of people that will make their decisions in the last few days. And Peter Dutton says, like we say on this show, nothing is inevitable. In fact, you're going to decide, not the media.
We are in the fight of our lives over the course of the next 6 days. I have no doubt in my mind that we can win this election. Forget about what you're being told by the ABC and the Guardian and the other hate media. Forget about that.
How good's ripping into the Guardian? The Turnbull Times. Oh, didn't they dislike that? Good, bugger them. All right, now, as for the Prime Minister, he thinks that this tougher tone from Peter Dutton, of course, means cue the ooga booga music.
A choice between building Australia's future or a darker, meaner, nastier reboot of the past. A choice between going forwards or getting dragged backwards.
Do you think that's what the opposition's pushing at this election? A darker, meaner version of the past? Or they just want to get rid of a government that hasn't done great in the past 3 years, right? Correct. Take the pain away. All right, I like a good Kalgoorlie crowd. I was promised a fire up and I want to get it. And if you're not loud enough, we're going into the Gold Bar and I know you're going to fire up in there. Now, that's the joint you go to at the very end of the night. I've been here for a couple of nights and I know that, and they've got sticky feet to prove it. All right, it said sticky shoe. Anyway, you get the point. One of the things that has changed during this election, and we know it has changed polling-wise during the election, is the question of cost of living. Cost of living, number one issue, but who has the better solution to it? Have a look at this. This is the Newspoll and some of the data behind it. It shows that in the past month or so, massive swing towards the Labor Party, and you can see that they're back to where they were at the start of the Voice year in February 2023. Now, my Labor friends, and believe it or not, there is one or two who still talk to me, they just don't believe that the swing is this big. Because put simply, why would you think one thing for 2 years and then magically change your view in just a few weeks? So obviously, if we're sitting here next week and that's what all the numbers are, well then, yep, all of that was right. But those huge spikes may be an area worth talking about.